I'm very pleased to speak today about the work of sisters in combating human trafficking. Member congregations of UISG have been involved in ministering to the victims of trafficking since 1998. And our first contribution was the production of training materials by a study group formed under the Commission for Justice and Peace. And this study group produced materials that were translated into about 11 different languages and really were very instrumental in raising awareness about the challenge of human trafficking in today's world. Then in 2001, members of the UISG plenary assembled here in Rome, the Superiors General made a commitment to work together to address the plight of women and children who are suffering abuse and sexual exploitation. And that led to the development of a training programme and the establishment of several regional networks in collaboration with what was then known as the International Organization for Migration. So sisters and members of IOM went to various parts of the world, holding workshops and conscientising sisters about the challenge of human trafficking in their own country and worldwide. Then later in 2009, a commitment was made by the Union of International Superiors General to establish Talitha Kum formally. And this meant that sisters who were being trained in different parts of the world began to gather in networks and to gather worldwide in order to work together to combat human trafficking. So in the 15 years since 2009, and in the 26 years since UISG began its involvement in human trafficking, many sisters have joined Talitha Kum over the years. We are very proud and pleased in terms of the work that is being achieved, but we know that much more needs to be done to really combat this scourge on the body of humankind.
Through its founding mission, Talitha Kum still operates grassroots engagement. The expression Talitha Kum refers to the transformative power of hope, compassion, and mercy, defining the mission of our global umbrella network. Tens of millions of boys and girls, men and women, are victims of human trafficking. The voice of women religious and our collaborators sustains their survivors and help them to rise and reclaim their human dignity. Talitha Kum International has become a network of networks. It includes national, regional, and continental networks. Recently, Talitha Kum set up sub-regional hubs, particularly in Asia and Africa. In 2023, Talitha Kum was challenged by new threats due to global crisis brought by wars and conflicts, climate change, and increasing forced migration.
Talitha Kum's mission is accomplished through collaborative networked initiatives focused on prevention, protection, social reintegration and rehabilitation of survivors, partnership, and advocacy, tackling the systemic causes of trafficking.
Le fait d'être une fédération de réseaux confère à Talitha Kum une très grande force. Cheminer ensemble dans la coopération et le travail de collaboration sont des outils essentiels pour lutter contre la traite des êtres humains. Les différentes congrégations religieuses à travers le monde qui collaborent et unissent leurs forces de lutte contre la traite sont une caractéristique essentielle des réseaux de Talitha Kum. Le réseau s'est étendu à d'autres organisations partenaires de religions variées et même non religieux, et ça s'est avéré déterminant. D'autres types de réseaux incluent des conférences nationales et régionales de supérieurs majeurs, des ONG, des organisations du milieu communautaire et du secteur public. Les avantages de ce travail en réseau sont le partage des connaissances et des meilleures pratiques, la formation des membres, la collecte de données, le partage d'informations sur les nouvelles tendances, les liens avec les forces de l'ordre et d'autres organisations gouvernementales, une crédibilité accrue dans le domaine de la défense des droits et du plaidoyer. Si on regarde de plus près au niveau de l'Amérique du Nord, au niveau international, nous prenons la parole pour dénoncer et proposer des changements, par exemple en envoyant des soumissions aux Nations Unies et au rapporteur spécial sur les formes contemporaines d'esclavage des Nations Unies lors d'appels de contribution sur ces enjeux cruciaux. Nous apportons notre expérience terrain lorsque nos pays ont leur examen périodique universel triennal des Nations Unies.
Talitha Kum's ability to network continues to develop. Its 60 networks are present on every continent in 107 countries. In 2023, new networks were established in Togo and Puerto Rico. The Talitha Kum network combines the collaboration of 5,871 active members and collaborators, including 777 congregations of women religious, 115 more than 2022, almost 93 congregations of men religious, and 48 interfaith collaborators. This network allowed Talitha Kum to reach a total of 753,392 people in 2023, an increase of 34.4% over 2022. In 2023, Talitha Kum Networks collaborated with 297 Catholic organizations, 219 NGOs, and 204 governmental and intergovernmental organizations, a cumulative increase of 14.6%. Through this network, 90,611 people were reached, an increase of 8% over 2022.
La sensibilisation dans Talitha Kum est un élément très important. Et cette sensibilisation, donc, qui est un élément principal de la prévention, sensibilise effectivement les gens sur la problématique de la traite. Il s'agit donc d'éveiller les consciences sur la question de la traite sous toutes ses formes. Il faut donc impliquer les enfants, les jeunes, les femmes, les hommes, toutes les couches sociales sur ce problème de la traite. Et au niveau de la sensibilisation, il faut noter qu'il est important de mettre l'accent sur les personnes surtout vulnérables, qui sont essentiellement les femmes, les enfants, les jeunes en recherche d'emploi. Il y a toutes ces personnes aussi dont leur milieu de vie constitue un danger à cause de la guerre, de l'insécurité et qui les amène à migrer vers d'autres horizons. Ce sont des personnes vulnérables et qui sont facilement touchées par les trafiquants. Au niveau de Talitha Kum, nous avons trois niveaux de sensibilisation ou de prévention. Et il s'agit donc ici de la prévention primaire qui consiste à informer la personne désireuse d'aller chercher un Eldorado à l'extérieur. Donc, sensibiliser la personne, lui donner les informations adéquates dans le lieu où il désire se rendre pour une meilleure situation de vie. Ensuite, il y a la sensibilisation ou la prévention secondaire. Cette prévention secondaire consiste à donner les informations adéquates quand la personne est là dans le pays qu'il a désiré pour y trouver de meilleures conditions de vie. Donc, lui donner les informations nécessaires pour qu'en cas de trafic, dans le milieu où elle se trouve, qu'elle puisse trouver des ressources pour pouvoir s'en sortir. Il y a aussi cette prévention tertiaire qui consiste donc à donner l'information aux personnes qui ont été déjà victimes de trafic pour que ces personnes ne se refassent pas encore trafiquer de nouveau.
In 2023, Talitha Kum's prevention activities benefited a total of 623,700 individuals. This reflects an increase of 41% over 2022. Primary beneficiaries included students, youth, educators, religious, community leaders, government employees, and other key stakeholders.
De Talitha Kum desde sus orígenes es su compromiso y cuidado de la persona en cualquier condición, ya sea personas en riesgo, víctimas o sobrevivientes de la trata de personas. Día a día, el cuidado forma parte de nuestro lenguaje y nuestra acción profética. Este cuidado vital se traduce en acogida respetuosa y misericordiosa, escucha, aceptación y empoderamiento. En América Latina y el Caribe, la explotación mayor corresponde a mujeres y niñas para la explotación sexual y laboral. Se acrecienta el reclutamiento de niños para actividades delictivas y de mendicidad. Transitamos la peor crisis migratoria de nuestra historia. Hombres, mujeres, niños, incluso familias enteras se ven forzados a migrar, arriesgando sus vidas cuando son atrapados por el crimen organizado. Hemos participado y propiciado numerosos espacios de formación para las redes y para capacitar a víctimas y sobrevivientes en vistas a su reintegración social y la reconstrucción de sus vidas. Estas acciones son una obra de amor. A través de ellas tenemos la oportunidad de expresar nuestra compasión, proximidad, entrega y generosidad, teniendo así parte en sus sufrimientos, aunque esto suponga a veces arriesgar la vida.
33,520 individuals received direct care and support through the Talitha Kum network in 2023. This is an increase of 22.6% over 2022.
Talitha Kum engagement with local and intergovernmental institutions is critical to advocate and protect the rights of migrant workers, women and girls vulnerable to forced marriage and forced labour. When possible, Talitha Kum supports legislation addressing the underlying causes of trafficking or laws ensuring the rights and protection of victims. Talitha Kum has made impressive efforts to secure justice for victims and survivors of trafficking and by reporting incidents of exploitation and trafficking. Talitha Kum member organisations also provide support and assistance to victims through the legal and judicial system and to claim compensation for damages. It also trains stakeholders to address gaps in legislation in their own local context. This is true of Talitha Kum Oceania, where we have built well-respected relationships with government and non-governmental agencies. Solid preparation and strategic planning by Talitha Kum members directly involved in advocacy has borne great fruit in lasting legislative and policy change. The three main networks of Talitha Kum Oceania have a unique opportunity to network to inform their advocacy with governments. Thousands of Pacific Island country people come to Australia and Aotearoa, New Zealand every year to fulfil the significant labour shortage in our agricultural sectors. The grassroots experience and knowledge of these workers directly informs the advocacy with governments undertaken by Talitha Kum members in both countries.
In 2023, Talitha Kum's advocacy and pursuit of access to justice benefited 5,561 individuals. This is a 22% decrease from 2022. However, advocacy efforts regarding legislation and policy making are indirectly touching countless numbers of people.
In 2023, the inaugural Sisters Anti-Trafficking Awards, the SATAs, were held in London. The SATAs is the annual celebration for three sisters, as representatives of their congregations and networks, who have demonstrated exceptional courage, creativity, collaboration and achievement in the protection of their communities from human trafficking.
this involvement of young people in the Talitha Kum Youth Ambassadors of Anti-Trafficking Program began in September 2021 in Asia. This program has grown and expanded worldwide, moving to Oceania, Africa, and Latin America. Last year in Africa alone, there were 14,800 young people reached to this program. As part of their mission to be protagonists among their peers in combating human trafficking, youth ambassadors have participated in the February 8 Marathons of Prayer since 2022. In 2024, they debuted in St. Peter's Square and were acknowledged by the Pope. Youth ambassadors were also present at the Talitha Kum booth at World Youth Day in Brisbane, Portugal. Day after day, young people lined up at the Talitha Kum booth where youth ambassadors spoke with them about to get involved in anti-trafficking efforts. They were also invited to get their hands dirty with paint and add their handprint to a 16-meter banner with the words "No to Trafficking" on it. In Asia, young people possess significant potential, which requires guidance to channel effectively. They hold reverence for religious beliefs, and by respecting their perspective, they can measure and assume responsibilities. Youth ambassadors serve as vital conduits for reaching grassroots communities, being intimately aware of their challenges.
On January 30, Talitha Kum Youth Ambassadors targeted young people with an invitation to get involved in caring for trafficked persons through its new Walking in Dignity app developed in 2023. 300 people, among whom were ambassadors to the Holy See, joined Talitha Kum at its international headquarters in Rome for the launch. The app invites young people to work together with their peers. As they unlock content through the steps they donate, they can also engage in the efforts to eliminate human trafficking as they discover how Talitha Kum performs its mission. In addition, steps that users donate are matched by donors who support Talitha Kum's mission.
The launching of the Talitha Kum app, called Walking in Dignity Against Human Trafficking, Leaving No One Behind, is indeed an important development, as it makes information on this insidious reality more accessible to younger generations, which is important from both the accessibility perspective for generations who are most likely to be impacted by trafficking, and also to engage these same generations with their social consciousness in activities to prevent and indeed eliminate trafficking around the world.
Talitha Kum International hopes to continue to expand its network to respond to the world's great needs. In 2024, Talitha Kum looks forward to responding to requests to establish network in the Pacific Islands, Angola, Congo, Cuba, Malawi, Burundi, and Malaysia. And this is what Talitha Kum is all about: transformation. Just as human trafficking transforms and expands, we transform with it. Our entire work at the grassroots level is meant to transform, to create change. And by transformation, we meant creating paradigm shifts in society through a change of behaviors. Transforming mindsets and behaviors through awareness raising is key to eradicating human trafficking. We invite you to join our journey of Talitha Kum Call to Action. This document was established and endorsed by the UISG in 2021, a call for transformation. So together we can witness the power of change. Talitha Kum Call to Action for Transformation is also directed to Catholic Church and religious leaders of other religions or spiritual tradition, to all people of goodwill who share our values and visions of a world free from human trafficking and exploitation. We reach out to the whole church, civil societies, NGOs that shares our values, to governments and other organizations and agencies. Let us embark this journey to end this crime of humanity.